What's up, YouTube? This is King Monye, back with one of them wild stories from CYA. So, it was 2005. We was in the schoolyard. Now, we was at YTS, which stands for Youth Training Center. Uh, YTS, no, Youth Training School. Yeah, Youth Training School up in Chino, California. And we in the school area. Now, the school area in YTS is divided by fence, like Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3. Each sector, you have to enter a new gate. So, generally speaking, you walk through the school area, you walk through the metal detectors, that's considered Sector 1. You walk a little further, uh, maybe a few hundred feet, and you'll through another gate, which is considered Sector 2. And if you walk even further than that, you would enter into the third gate, which is considered Sector 3. In YTS, the school area was segregated for the most part. No blacks were allowed in Sector 3. Sector 3 was where all the trades were, uh, welding, landscaping, uh, masonry, all the tools to make weapons were in Sector 3. And there was just it was a rule. It was enforced by the administration, and it was well known amongst the inmates. No blacks were allowed in Sector 3 because of the racial violence, because they would get attacked and they'll be outnumbered, and there's weapons back there, and it's like a death trap. So, but this particular day, I'm in Sector 1. Most of the blacks, your class is going to be assigned to Sector 1, Sector 2. And occasionally they'll even assign you to a Sector 3. I've heard of stories, but it's known, everybody will tell you don't go. Because, you're going to be back there, you're going to be trapped, and then you're going to get jumped, beat down. So, but, okay, this day I'm in Sector 1. Now, the violence in YTS is strictly racial. I don't know what's the cause. I never knew the cause. I just knew it was real, man. I knew that if you was black, you had to watch your back because the Mexicans was known to attack. And that's real, man. It may sound like, a little cool rhyme and shit, but shit was real serious, man. So when you go to school, first of all, you have heart for even going to school because you know what's going to happen. Everybody knows. So if you black and you walk into school, you going to school, you're not going to get an education. You're going because you're assigned, and you're going as act of solidarity because you know it's going to be some other strong, solid blacks who's walking to school. And you're not going to leave them stuck on stranded, and you're going to show up for the fight because it's going down every day. And so this day, like no other day, it's the beginning of a class. I'm assigned to Sector 1. We walk inside this class. It's a computer class. So we walk inside this class, and the tension is thick. I walk into class, and immediately I do a head count. I count 4 blacks. 4 other strong brothers showed up. And we noticed the blacks. We noticed the head count. It's not, you know, it's about even, in this classroom. That's not considered the whole school area. It's about even at this time. Uh, so I think it's about 4 of us, 4 of them, and you maybe have whites and something like that. But anyway, we're in class. The tension is thick because everybody's unsure of when it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. We don't know who these Mexicans are, if they're going to attack us, but we keep our guard on because chances are they are. Um, they may be feeling the same thing, looking to see who these blacks are, but I don't remember hearing those stories, and I don't remember seeing um, no blacks just running around attacking Mexicans in there in YTS, although it wouldn't shock me. So I remember the class was over. It's the end of the class, and the teacher saying, okay, I want you guys to come back tomorrow, this and that, first day of class. Um, and it's time to leave. It's time to walk out the door. But like I say, the tension's so thick. Everybody knows it's about to go down, and nobody wants to walk out the door so that they can have their enemies behind them. I don't want to walk out the door and have Mexicans behind me and try to sneak attack on me. They don't want to walk out the door first. They don't want to have the blacks behind them. They don't know if we about to snake on them. So I remember everybody's just stuck at the door. Nobody wants to walk out the door and leave the class first. So I remember being the first one just to walk out the class, fuck it, I'm out of here. I'm gonna walk out first. Well, when I walked out first, I remember, the other three brothers following suit. They walked out behind me, so they got my back. What happens is the last brother now has all the Mexicans behind him. So as I'm walking through the metal detector, going back towards Sector 1, going back towards the dorm, I'm walking through the metal detectors, and they're walking through. We're like a train. The one behind me is walking through, and then the one behind him's walking through. And then the one behind him has the Mexicans, the start of the Mexicans. Well, as we walk through the metal detectors, I just remember hearing, "Get out, get out, get down!" And we turned around and it's popping off. I turned around, and sure enough, I see the last brother holding on to his face, blood squirting down his face, streaming down his face, and it's just a bunch of confusion. People getting on the ground, some people running around, and there was no actual combat. There was just an assault. The attack had happened. There was no, even the officers, the police know what's going to happen. They, are prepared for it. Everybody's waiting. Sometimes it's an actual fight. Sometimes it's just an assault with a little bit of fist thrown back. And most of the time it's an assault with a lot of chaos and people running around. This particular day, get out! When you hear that noise, I brace and jump, looking around. We trying to see where it is. I see the blood right there, but I see a lot of people, just getting down on the ground. And so, we get down and stuff like that. But that the brother who was the last brother in the train of blacks was the one who was assaulted and had his face sliced open. He had his face sliced open and ended up getting 12 staples. The Mexicans who did it, I don't know what actually happened to them other than them going to the hole, right? I tell this story because I remember the feeling of being in that classroom, knowing that it's going to pop off, it's going to be something happens. I don't know who these people are, but I know that they're going to try something because it always happens. It never fails. But I just remember taking initiative to be the first one to walk out the class, and I don't know what prompted me to do that. I didn't know the brothers was gonna get behind me and we was gonna stick together like that, because it could have been all the Mexicans got behind me, and it could have been I could have been trying to be the last one to get out, and I could have got sliced. But I thank God that it didn't happen like that, and the one who it did happen to, he did live. But it's senseless acts of violence like that was a daily occurrence in CYA. It was a feeling of going to school, like I say, with the intentions to be assaulted. Going to school, not to get an education. That's out the window, because we made it through that class that day, which was kind of odd because usually something pops off in the class. So we made it through the class, and part of the hesitation, I believe, was, like I say, the numbers was even in the class. So as we walked outside the class and we start walking outside the metal detectors, it's the release of school, so it's more classrooms, more inmates, which means more the numbers start to change a little. But it used to go down, man. You know, and after that we went on. What would happen? We would go on like lockdown. I think it's called red line. They put us on red line. Basically, we're paused from school for a minute. They're doing an investigation. Usually lasts for 4 to 6 days, and then you're back out, and then you do it all over again. It'd be another incident. But it's just crazy, man. That CYA madness, right? See, it was straight madness. For even the Mexicans, like they felt obligated. They had to go to school. I think for them, they had to go, and it was a mandatory thing. They had to get off on a black, And if they was to come back to the unit, I don't know. This is speculation. This is what I used to hear. I'm not Mexican. I'm not a South Side. I don't know what their politics was. But if he was to come back, if they was to come back and had ran across blacks and didn't attack them, I think they would be looked upon as weak and maybe drop levy or something. It's these type of stories, the images of the dude holding his face, of blood coming down his face, of the look of and the feeling of being a victim, being a victim. Yeah, he showed up. Yeah, we showed up. Yeah, we knew it was going to happen, but yeah, it still couldn't prevent it, because it happened so quick. And so what they did, they sliced him with a razor. They sliced it with, in YTS, they was using razor blades, slicing you across your face if you let them get that close. But that was common, them to run up and slice you with the razors, man. And I don't never want to go through that again. I don't wish that upon anybody. So that's why I always tell these stories, man. I tell you to let you know that there's a place that is wild and crazy, and they're doing the unthinkable, right? And you don't want to put yourself in them situations to test your heart, to see if you can handle it, because you will handle it because you're going to have to survive. It's either kill or be killed, or, you got to make it out of there. But the damage it does to you psychologically, just to get out, just to detach yourself from feelings, to detach yourself from recognizing the value of human life, because you're just going along with the flow, doing what you got to do to survive and maintain your image and reputation. This is one of them stories from CYA madness. And truly, it was madness, man, and we made it up out of there. So if you was in these walls, man, and you made it up out of there, man, I salute you, whether you was black or brown, man, because we all was impacted. We all bear the scars and the damage, but we all can heal, and we all can make a difference. Hey, this is King Monye. I tell these wild, wicked stories from prison and YA. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and comment me. I'll get back. Press the like button, and tune in next time. Y'all stay blessed.